me, real economic growth is irrelevant. Okay. What is relevant is what is happening to the conditions of life of the majority of the people. If you have a high rate of real economic growth, but that is accompanied by such acute inequality that the bulk of it goes to a few percentage people at the top, then that to me is not an economic growth which really is to be pursued. Okay. But your question is very important, because what happens when you give these free things, that is one reason why people manage to remain, keep their noses above water. But there is some transfer which is taking place. Now, I'm opposed to the kind of, the culture of transfers, because that's why I am arguing that it should be actually rights. Just as people have political rights, they must have economic rights. You see, if you look at the Indian Constitution, it's very strange, because all the economic, if you look at earlier, 1931 Karachi Congress, the Congress had a session in Karachi, shortly after Magadh Singh's execution, which actually adopted a resolution that painted a picture of what independent India would look like. Okay. That's the famous Karachi Congress resolution, and our constitution is really based upon that, because that said for the first time, secular, that the state has no religion, universal adult franchise and so on. But there again, economic benefits were written into the constitution. Okay, that people are not constituted into the resolution. But when it came to the constitution, the economic benefits were put in something called the fundamental principles of state policy, while the political rights and so on were put as fundamental rights. I think that dichotomy is not good. We should actually have these rights for everybody. And if we have rights for everybody, then growth becomes very important. Yeah, exactly. Lady there.
Wonderful lecture. So my question is regarding the estimation of poverty in a time when the various government data are not released, particularly the census data and other data. So when we have inadequate data, how we find the actual poor in the country when we have become the world largest populated country in the world?
No, that's about population. You asked about poverty.
Yeah, I'm basically asking the question on the poverty. How you estimate the actual poor?
We cannot estimate poverty today. So I told you that 2011-12 we can estimate. 2017-18 leaked data, because the data was suppressed, but leaked whatever came in newspapers at that time. On the basis of that we can say. My colleague, my wife, Professor Patnaik, actually does a lot of research on poverty. So she has been estimating on the basis of the leaked data. And my figures are based on the research.
I have a question about the currency devaluation, because I see in India
Devaluation. Exchange rate devaluation.
Currency devaluation.
Yeah.
I remember in India I was taking about $1.40 rupees. Now it is about 22 rupees. And we are more sensitive related in Pakistan, also in north of Turkey, in Turkey, a lot of them. So how do you find, very small answer to this? How Indian government can respond? Number two is rating agencies, the role of rating agencies like Standard & Poor's and Fitch. These rating agencies, sometimes they raise the yellow card or red card, affecting immediately the economy of the industry. So how to resist that? And thirdly, that has been the economic planning making. How you have resisted the new economic policy. So this is very
making. Okay. I think you see the basic answer to your question, to all these different questions, is that I would have got capital controls. You see, because all these, as I mentioned in the course of the lecture, the problems arise because finance is globalized in the country as a nation state. Okay. Now, capital control, in the proposal I just made about having fundamental economic rights, the moment the parliament discusses these, there will be capital right. When South Africa was overcoming the apartheid regime, when negotiations were going on between the African National Congress on the one hand and the apartheid regime on the other hand, there was huge capital crisis, because of which, when Nelson Mandela became president, the person he chose to be his finance minister was the same person who had been the finance minister under the apartheid regime. Therefore, I would say that one has to put a stop to capital. Okay. I'm not saying that you go out of your way to put a stop to capital flight, but the moment you find that there are symptoms of a capital flight, then you put a stop to it. As a matter of fact, you must have seen in the papers that because the US interest rate is rising, finance is being sucked out of all our countries, and therefore our currencies are depreciating. So you find that inflation occurs in the US, to combat which they raise their interest rate, and our currencies depreciate. And the Reserve Bank of India reduced its foreign exchange reserve by $100 billion. Okay, in October, it had reached a maximum of $640 billion. $40 billion. It was reduced by $100 billion. Even so, we could prevent the depreciation of the currency. It has gone up a little bit now, but you must have seen yesterday or the day before paper, $6 billion has fallen in the course of 1 week. So fundamentally, there is no alternative to having capital. And mind you, I'm not saying this is easy. The moment you have capital control, the Americans go to sanctions against you and so on. But we have to be prepared for that. And this is not a new thing. Capital control was there in India. As a matter of fact, when I went abroad for my higher education, there used to be a thing called P-form. So I was queuing up outside the RBI office for 2 months to get my passport with that P form stamped on it. And that P form allowed me to take only 3 pounds out of the country. And so when I arrived at Heathrow Airport and took a bus to the university town I was supposed to be going to, I had no money. Of the money and all. So that was the severity of capital control. And I think we have seen that. So I don't think we should worry too much. There will be a lot of middle class opposition. But on the other hand, I think the people of the country are going to be much affected if we have capital control. India, fortunately, is one of those countries that is capable of producing every commodity we need, except oil. And on oil, we can always have bilateral agreements with Iran and now Russia. So I think we can withstand sanctions for it.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You have shaped generations in JNU.
माइक को दूर रखिए.
I joined JNU the year you were retiring, so I was a witness to the grand farewell. I had attended that till 2 a.m. So my question is actually regarding, you ended your talk with, certain economic rights enhancement as such. So my question is actually, I am a keen avid reader of Gramsci, and whenever I try to locate, questions of development, growth, inequality, so it is all about discourse setting. So one cannot actually talk of solutions without taking into account the role of ideas, institutions, and material capabilities, which Gramsci very much uses in his theoretical lens, which he calls historic law. So talking about peasants, labor, their rights is important, and let me tell you, I think many, like me, Nagadhya, they would feel that what you actually talked about, we talk about such things, we are actually at the fringes. So this whole hegemony of global finance, capital, beyond which any alternative is actually not even talked about, thought about. So thank you so much for actually bringing that back again into the scene. That is something, for last 5-6 years, I haven't listened to something like that. So how to create that alternative hegemony? Second thing, do you think that institutions like World Bank, IMF, WTO, Bretton Woods system, that is in any sense, making some, slow but steady change in terms of how they propagate certain ideas, Washington consensus, post-Washington consensus? And third, how do you see the world economy doing? I mean, are we again portending something like global recession? Because we again need something like 2008, something like, South Asian Tigers crisis to actually make us think that, okay, there is something wrong about this neoliberal orthodoxy which has been dominating for such long time. So thank you so much again.
Sir.
I am Bagisha sir. I teach political science in the Department of Political Science, BHU, and I have been an alumnus of Jawaharlal Nehru University and BHU. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, we are lucky now to get here stay. Can you ready? The right in medical care, sir, very serious problem. In India, after much awaiting right to education enforced, the time demand right to health care must be enforced in India. The doctors, the medicine manufacturing companies are playing the role of tutors. The government is insensitive to what? BP, like BP, sugar, cancer, and all. And the leaders, our lawmakers go to the ends and all that, go to London and America. But masses of our India are not in a position to buy cheaper medicine. There must be friendly enforcement of right to medical care. You are a global personality, no doubt. You are very famous for your high thinking. Then globally, what should be in our India? The right to medical care. Thank you.
Sir.
Okay, no, okay, I'll take all that. Whether any type of comment?
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful lecture. We have learned a lot. I am Prabhat from Patnaik University. Sir, I have a question to you. Should we so much focus about international financial capital? Have we any alternative to it?
Yes, sir.
सर मैं अपना क्वेश्चन हिंदी में आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि हमारे जेएनयू के 70 से 80% स्टूडेंट आई नो इंग्लिश वेरी वेल। मैं आपको सिर्फ 2 बातें कहना चाहता हूँ जो अभी तक के क्वेश्चन हुए हैं उससे थोड़ा अलग हट करके। मुझे याद है कि मैं अब तक आपको 2-3 बार सुन चुका हूं। जब मैंने आपको विशाखापट्टनम में सुना था, मैडम भी थी आपकी वाइफ सब पटनायक मैडम और प्रोफेसर अरुण कुमार जी, हमारा एकेडमी का मंच था इंडियन एकेडमी ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज का विशाखापट्टनम विश्वविद्यालय में।
उस वक्त पूरे भारतवर्ष में हम लोगों ने जो एलपीजी साइन किया था, WTO में हम लोग गए थे और वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी का हम हिस्सा बनने जा रहे थे, तो एक बिग सेक्शन ऑफ इकोनॉमिस्ट जो है सो उसके अगेंस्ट थे सीधे तौर पर। लेकिन लास्ट मोर देन 20 ईयर्स है डिपेंड, 23 वर्ष के गुजर जाने के बाद में क्या उस वक्त जो हम लोग डेंजर देख रहे थे देश के अंतर्गत, क्या उस तरह का ड्रास्टिक कोई डेंजर हुआ? एक दूसरा कि सच ए पिटिबल कंडीशन ऑफ द इंडियन इकोनॉमी भारतवर्ष में जो हम लोग के पास देखने को मिल रहा है, और एक लंबे अरसे से हम लोग डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, बोथ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इज द फैक्टर फेयरिंग सिस्टम। लेकिन क्या कारण है कि पॉलिटिकल पावर जो ऑन हो रहा है, मासेज के द्वारा जो वोट दिया जा रहा है, सीटें जो बढ़ती जा रही है, इस सब के बावजूद में भी वैसा हो रहा है, तो क्या अर्थशास्त्र का कोई इस तरह का कंट्रास्ट स्टेज चल रहा है कि हम जो सोच रहे हैं, जो कर रहे हैं, जो बता रहे हैं, उसके विपरीत जा रहा है? थैंक यू सर।